In the Top 10s video today, we're looking at the top 10 ridiculously huge handguns. And in at number 10, the Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum Revolver, also known as Dirty Harry's gun. True or false? The giant handgun craze began with the Dirty Harry movie series. The answer? False. Harry's use of the outrageously chambered 44 Magnum revolver was widely popularized, leading to the sales of countless Smith & Wesson and other spin-off model 44s. Action sequences in the movie depict bad guys flying backward through windows or spinning in circles before landing flat on the ground after being struck by Harry's badass 44. The simple fact of the matter is that no projectile short of a 20mm cannon or a 50 cal BMG will cause the human body to fly backwards through the air or even change direction to a noticeable degree. Despite its famed impracticality, the 44 Magnum was not the first oversized revolver and would certainly not be the last. Number 9. Desert Eagle 45 Long Colt 410 shotgun load pistol. Somewhere along the line, weapons engineers realized that if a shotgun and a pistol got married, they would produce a baby that looked like it was on steroids and would hold a 410 shotgun shell or a 45 Long Colt pistol round. The results were variants on the classic Long Colt revolver like Taurus's The Judge and Desert Eagle's 410 45 Long Colt revolvers. While the 410 shotgun shell theory has tested well in close quarters scenarios, it's not highly recommended for anyone attempting to engage a target at over, say, 15 feet. The shotgun blast, since it's spun by the rifling of the pistol barrel, will fly in a circular pattern and spread to the size of a small car after 15 or more yards. Not only will you risk missing your target, you will risk hitting other targets that may not have been targets in the first place. Number 8. Desert Eagle 50 caliber handgun. This baby is quite unique. The Desert Eagle 50 cal is one of the largest, if not the largest, magazine-fed handgun in the world. Developed for use in Israel's military, the 50 caliber projectile packs a massive punch that will tear apart any human target. The gun looks incredibly modern and sexy, as some would describe it, thus increasing its popularity among gangsters, young people, and crime bosses. The Desert Eagle brand, though they create a multitude of other pistols, has become synonymous to meaning 50 caliber handgun, and when a person refers to a Desi, you can bet they mean the 50 cal. Number 7. Smith & Wesson Model 460 XVR Compensated Hunter. Leave it to the hunters to begin making a series of firearms to dwarf anything else on the US production schedule. These moose-killing, beer-drinking, moonshine-stilling, happy-go-lucky animal hunters needed a revolver that would penetrate dense bush, foliage, and even small trees, and still bring down a grizzly bear. A 5-shot wonder, the 460 XVR, as its name suggests, will compensate for the hunter's package size and allow a brief moment of glory in the field, comparable only to dropping an atomic bomb. Number 6. Smith & Wesson 500 Magnum. Read the piece about the 460 XVR and imagine adding .04 calibers to the diameter of the rounds and pinching more powder into the larger cartridge. I once witnessed this projectile strike a deck of bicycle playing cards at 25 yards. The deck of cards literally, and I mean literally, disintegrated into the air. Number 5. 50 caliber black powder wheel lock pistol. The 50 caliber flintlock or hammerlock pistols date back hundreds and hundreds of years. The need for the 50 caliber chambering was due to the production standards of the day. A 50 caliber round is exactly 1/2 inch in diameter, making it easy to measure and reproduce accurately by any weapon or ammunition manufacturer. Back in those fabled times, little clamps were produced in the shapes of this common load, meaning that any regular metallurgist could melt down a block of lead or steel and create a projectile for his weapon. It was as easy as using a modern-day hole punch. Couple this easy-to-replicate ball projectile, this is not a pointed bullet but rather a ball which is not rifled, with the fact that you can put a whole heck of a lot of black powder behind it, and you have created a weapon which can take down a horse, much less a man, with relative ease. But remember, you only get one shot, and that one shot is not going to be accurate beyond 15 yards and will severely decelerate beyond this distance. Why would you want one for self-defense? You wouldn't. Regardless, they are highly prized collector's items. Number 4. Colt 4570 Peacemaker. At some point during the 70s, some genius was under the impression that the 45 caliber Colt Peacemaker, John Wayne's gun of choice, did not have enough stopping power. How anyone could arrive at this conclusion is beyond sane reasoning, given that discharging the standard 45 caliber load feels akin to slapping a brick wall. American engineering, however, devised a way to make this gun even larger and more powerful. Thus, the 45-70 load, originally developed for use in an infantry and/or buffalo rifle, was introduced into the sphere of modern-day handguns. Number 3. Magnum Research 45-70 Government Hand Cannon. Despite what some people will tell you, there are variants on the standard 45-70 government load. Some feel like a jackhammer, while others feel like you've pulled the pin on a grenade and forgot to let go. The hand cannon delivers that good old grenade in your hand feeling. It is a weapon that should not be fired by the unsuspecting individual, or anyone for that matter. It is utterly beyond practicality in every sense of the word. Certain models measure over 2 feet in length and are impossible to wield safely or effectively with one arm. Number 2. WTS-50 BMG Browning Machine Gun Cartridge Pistol. Beyond all reasonable doubt, this is the largest and most formidable handgun you could ever actually wield in a gunfight. Following in the footsteps of Hitler's obsession with giant railroad cannons, the Germans are still producing the biggest, most outlandish crap on the market today. The 50 Browning machine gun cartridge was designed for use against tanks, airplanes, armored personnel carriers, and in some cases may actually be used by a high-powered sniper rifle. It is more than twice as powerful as the fabled 45-70 government round, and one can only imagine that shooting it in a pistol format would be painful, unwieldy, and quite hazardous for anyone involved. If a soft target is hit with a 50 caliber BMG bullet, it will be shredded and exploded into pieces. The gargantuan 50 caliber death monster projectile can fly at a breakneck speed for miles, even after penetrating 1 or 2 targets. Discharging it at your common household thief is ill-advised, unless you don't mind the possibility of inadvertently pegging one of your neighbors. Would someone be scared of it? Yes. Would they run away? Yes. Would you be able to use your right hand to jot down the grocery list post-firing? Doubtful. Number 1. Pfeifer Zeliska 28mm Revolver. The biggest, most worthless manifestation of an inferiority complex ever created by one man. Originally manufactured under the name Remington Model 1859, this copy of the formerly US-made revolver was built by Riser Tobies and measured 4 foot, 1.26 meters long. To give some basis for comparison, the 28mm projectile is 8mm wider than the US military's fabled 20mm cannon, a weapon used primarily for destroying tanks, sinking boats, or shooting down heavily armored airplanes. While entirely impractical, and one would guess impossible to use as an even mildly effective tool for any purpose other than felling trees, the 28mm revolver has made its mark as truly being the world's largest pistol, and simultaneously the world's most comical waste of lead.
So I really hope you enjoyed that video, and I'd love to know what you think of it, so please leave a comment below. I'm also going to link over to another video that you might enjoy, so just click on that thumbnail on the screen now, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel because we put out a new video 7 days a week, and you can also visit us online. Just go to TopTenzNet. Thanks for watching.